gonna sound like what exactly do you think that I can do as far as
like this is fine. This is fine. That's gonna make a sound.
So I can't like Dave Chappelle.
You can, but even when Dave Chappelle does it, what does it do? It goes. Yeah. Yeah, you can definitely if you want for the comedic effect to Dave Chappelle it, feel free. But know that if you bang it on your knee, it will make the sound.
Does he own that? Like, does Dave Chappelle own that? Like, are there other if another comedian started if another comedian started hitting the mic on their knee, would it be a big deal?
So people are gonna pack him. We're gonna be like, oh, you're doing the Chappelle.
You're doing the Chappelle thing.
Yeah, bro, he doesn't copyright it. He doesn't own the shit. Like,
can you copyright that?
That'd be like Drake trying to sue me as a rapper for being like, yeah, in like the same way that he does or something like you know what I mean? Like you can't copyright a sound.
When I hear people do that, I say that they're copying it.
So Cardi tried to get she tried to get that trademarked,
really?
And she failed. They said she couldn't trademark. They said it wasn't unique enough a sound.
There you go. I think that answers the question.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first ever episode of Jet and Bex. This is the podcast. This is the number one Christian podcast in the world. I'm just kidding.
As in both of our middle names are Christian.
As in both of our names.
So
that's not even close to true. We both celebrate Christmas is what that means. None of
I
us
hardly
celebrate.
do.
Yes, you do. You bought a tree last year.
Right, you
Yes, you did. You had a little tree.
Did I? Brandon bought that tree.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Never mind then. So look, man, I'm really excited to do this because I feel like, I don't know, I just wanted to do a podcast with you for a long time, and no one cares about us yet. I mean, we do our own things, and that's interesting, and like we can tell people to go follow us places, but other than that, this is kind of like what I've been wanting to do for a long time, and I'm really excited for it. Like, I'm very excited for it, even though it might suck right now. I feel like in the future it might not.
I don't think it's gonna suck. Like, it'll take time to get up and going and to get into mojo. You know what I mean? Like,
And these mics might suck.
Hopefully not.
We'll find out.
We'll definitely find out. So,
did you hear someone knocking at the door?
I did.
Am I crazy? I'm not crazy.
No, I definitely heard that.
Oh, it's like, oh, dang. Who's there, do you think?
Hello?
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 Yeah, man, I haven't seen you that much this week. I got some crazy stuff to tell you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man, I got some crazy stuff. I mean, it's not that crazy, to be honest with you. But it is interesting. For one, I want to make a change, Wes.
Okay, what's that?
Here's the thing. I've always been a lover, okay? I've always been a lover. But I've always been like someone who falls in love.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying.
I've always been someone who's like, you know what I'm saying, like,
you're a romantic.
I'm romantic, yeah. To the core. That's just who I am. I'm not saying that I'm good at it. I just am.
Yeah.
I may be bad. Point is, I want to have more fun with my sexuality.
Hey, we out here. You already know how I feel about that, my guy.
I was like thinking about it the other day, and I'm like, you know what? I feel like that's something I'm missing. I feel like that's something that I want to explore. I was like this close to signing up for Tinder. I was that close.
Damn.
I decided not to though. I decided not to though. I might. I mean,
even if you do.
But at that moment, I just decided.
I don't know if Tinder's the way to go. Even if you do go that route, you know, even if you go online, Bumble might be a better move.
I don't know what any of these are.
Bumble's dope because the woman has to reply first.
I think. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I might try that. I might not. Point is, I think I want to like I was saying to you the other night. I was like, we should go out. You know what I'm saying? I want to spend more time. Maybe I'll get because I hate dancing in front of people. I mean, I don't want to say I hate dancing, but like I dance when I edit and I dance when I create.
When you're feeling free,
when I'm feeling like free. But like how can I feel free in front of people?
Anyway.
And I feel like that's also what's guarding my sexuality.
Okay.
Is me feeling not free for people I'm not comfortable with.
But that's the only way to get comfortable.
Same thing. It's same thing with sex but it's just more one-on-one, whereas dancing is not as physical, but there's also more people. It's interesting. It's both expressing myself physically and not being comfortable with it. So I feel like I can change. So I want to do it.
Oh yeah, no, I'm all about that sexual freedom, that freedom of expression in any form. I'm about it.
And the thing is it's not like it's not like I'm like, I want to have more sex. It really is. I'm like, I want to feel more comfortable in my sexuality.
You're just empowering yourself through sexuality.
Exactly. I want to feel like, I don't know, like I was like, dang, like I feel not comfortable.
Yeah.
Feel not, even though I'm not saying like I don't know who I am. Like I know him. I'm perfectly comfortable loving whoever I want to love, but I don't feel comfortable loving in general with people unless I'm super close with them. But I'm like, you know what? I feel like I can expand my horizons.
And that's the reason I'm so, for lack of a better word, free with it. Like I'm so comfortable with my loving, and like, so I get that. I guess I get that bias or that comment a lot when like I tell people I'm not a very like monogamous minded like traditional person. They're like, so you just want to fuck everybody? And I'm like, that's not what it is at all. Like, I'm just so free with my loving that I can love someone genuinely that I've only known for a month. You know what I mean? Or like whatever. Like it could be a stranger or somebody, and I can give them 100% of my attention and my presence in that moment, and we can share love like legitimately, even though we don't know everything about each other.
You know what brought me to this, by the way?
What?
Because I know how much you love. I know how you feel about this, and I think it was funny too because, like, I don't know. Point is, what brought me to this is one watching the show Euphoria, which is really good and I love it.
So good.
But I don't know. I loved how relationships, whether they were sexual or not, it didn't matter. Mm-hmm. Sexuality didn't put a label on their relationships, which a lot of times sexuality, like, we'll put labels on relationships, but even show when things didn't work out, it wasn't
because of the sex
labeled in such a way. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, sexuality doesn't define relationships. Like, it's just an aspect of it. You know what I mean?
Is Papa? I thought it was Max. Where is Max, by the way?
I haven't seen Max. Oh no, I did. Max came down here earlier today when I first got here, and I don't know where he went after that. He must be in his room, Xboxing, probably playing Call of Duty, probably hitting that beta hard.
So yeah, hitting that beta real hard. I want to play the beta forever, and I don't want it to go away, but I think it went away today.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Oh, but
it's another
when
month
does the game come out?
Yo, hold up. Back to what I was saying.
Yeah, we did
something new recently, and I'm not ashamed, man. I'm not ashamed of it. Okay?
All right.
One of my new favorite podcasts is Logan Paul's podcast.
Whoa. That is not, I don't know what, I wasn't expecting anything, but it wasn't that. Interesting.
It's a great show,
I didn't even know he had a podcast.
Yeah, it's really good. I can't believe I'm saying this.
I can't believe that man made a comeback, but he did.
He made a comeback.
Yeah.
I really like it. Point is, I watched the episode with Riley Reid.
Oh, okay. Yeah, dope.
And it was
I love Riley.
First, I've always been fine and open about talking about sexuality when it comes to porn. Like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Of course, everyone knows who Riley Reid is. But it was really listening to her speak about her life and who she is as a person, which is super dope and super sexually free. And her talk about the relationships inside of porn and the relationships.
And how it affects outside
And I'm just like,
porn,
and that's not a world that I've ever lived in. But I'm saying if that's so how normal it was to everybody and how crazy it was and how regular, just hearing her talk about it while also having these things in my mind, I'm like, all right, well, if that's the extent of it, of course I'm not going to like go straight Riley Reid with it. But I was like, it's possible. It's not like they all belong. It's not like sexuality belongs in relationships.
No, not at all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sloppy Joes. Hey, thank you, Mama.
Thank you. We'll be up in just a second. Sloppy Joes are ready.
Hey.
And we're gonna go eat some Sloppy Joes. But real quick. Sexuality does not belong in relationships, all right?
Yeah, it doesn't belong to anybody. It's like you can be single, you can be long-term monogamous, you can be serial monogamous.
And it all depends on how your partner feels about it. Like, I heard he Logan Paul, great question. I'm telling you, man, it surprised.
He's a good interviewer.
He had on the bald dude with the big dick with brazzers. You know what I'm talking about? Everyone knows him.
I don't know his name, but I know who you're talking about.
Johnny Sins is his name.
Okay, Johnny Sins.
I was watching a whole bunch of podcasts.
The only male porn stars I know are like James
Dean, girlfriend or wife or whatever.
And that's it.
Yeah, James Dean.
That's about it.
Yeah, I didn't know his name until I watched the podcast.
Okay. Wait, what is it one more time? Something Sins?
Johnny Sins.
Johnny Sins.
Point is, him and his girlfriend, and they both, they do whatever.
Yeah.
Logan asks, he goes, "Can you cheat?"
You're not cheating.
And the answer is yes. And it said it's when they lie.
That's what I'm saying.
And I was
it's
like, interesting. And I was like,
yeah.
I was expecting like a can you cheat? No. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's not.
But it's like, yeah.
The sexual act is not cheating if it's honest, authentic communication.
It's like if, let's say he's having another relationship with a woman.
That's
and
not.
Like, he doesn't tell me about it. Like, fuck you.
Yeah, then that's messed up.
It's like you've been spending all this time with someone else, like.
And just didn't tell me. And it's like, at that point, why didn't you tell me? Like, okay, we've had all these other relationships and neither of us cared. It was all good. Now you're hiding one. So, like, are you really in love with her? Like, you're going to leave me for her? Like, why is it secret now?
Yeah. Gotcha. We're coming up.
Man, they really want us to eat these sloppy joes.
They really want to see these sloppy joes. What I'm trying to say is I also want to eat more sloppy joes.
Let's go do that.
Let's do that. I meant that sexually.
When my girl comes through in the all black, like the black jeans with the boots with the like, yo, she could turn it on and be bad, but like most days I look at her and I'm like, you're fucking gorgeous. You know what I mean? Like I just don't look at her as bad. Like I wouldn't use that adjective most of the time.
This might be really weird, but I'm gonna say it anyway.
It's not
Liliana.
I bet.
I think it was because I was introduced to Liliana through only like the relationships that she's had.
Yeah.
But in my mind, she's always been like my sister. So I don't mean this in a rude way, but I've never, ever, in any way, shape, or form, been attracted to Liliana in any way.
Just because you always
like I can't,
her dude.
Like there are a bunch of like she's like there's my sister. There are like family friends that I've grown up with that I just can't view.
And she's in that.
And for some reason she, which is weird. Like I feel like most of women that I come across. There's some, like, in my head, I can be like, am I attracted to them? You know what I'm saying? There's, like, something that, like, there's usually some type of, like, oh, is there compatibility? But I guess it was because I was only, I don't know what it is. Don't know what it is.
I think you summed it up. She's like your sister.
Essentially. And I think it's just the way I was introduced to her. Like, there are a bunch of people you're introduced to, and, like, your first thought, especially as a guy, your first thought is like, oh, what's up? but, like, there are certain people you're introduced to just because the way you're introduced to them, you, like,
you don't even
know
ask that question, yeah.
Like, if I was introduced to someone like that in, like, a business setting, and like that wouldn't be my first like.
Wouldn't be my first thought, but at the end of that meeting, I'm definitely gonna be like, yeah, but she could get it.
If there were conversations in the meeting and I learned something, you know what I'm saying? You never know what's gonna happen.
Even if the meeting is completely professional, we wrap up a deal, shake hands, firm, boom, cool. Nice to meet you.
We're back, by the way. Yeah.
In my head, I'm like, damn, but she was rocking that suit pants. Like she was killing it. So. But that's just, I think everybody does that. And people always say, like, that's just men, but that's just people. Like, she definitely walked away from that meeting like, damn, I ain't say nothing because it was a meeting, but that dick print, shit.
That dick print?
Yeah, she seen the dick print through the trousers.
Why do you call it a print?
You see the print through the pants. You see the print of the dick. I didn't know it was
called a dick print.
Yeah.
I thought it was like...
Some people call it the bulge. The bulge is the most... But
never heard dick
What
print.
sounds better, though? Dick print or bulge? Like, come on.
Bulge.
Dick print is great.
Bulge.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
I like the dick print.
I'm a huge fan of dick print.
If I'm talking about myself, I'm going to say dick print because bulge doesn't sound flattering.
I like bulge.
It's not bad.
Like, bulge is cool, but...
Like, you gotta, like, yo, check on my...
Bulge sounds unwanted to me.
Check out my bulge.
Alright, bulge.
You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, not that I ever say it like that. I've never said, check out my... I'm done.
Like I'm saying, if a chick was like, yeah, I was talking to him and, like, I could see his bulge the whole time. You see that voice I do with that? As opposed to, like, yo, girl, I seen his dick print and, ooh. You know what I mean? Like, it's just different connotations. Yeah.
I guess it's like boobs. Like boobs is still a fine word. Yeah. You wouldn't say boobs.
Indeed.
You know
yeah.
Like, dude, I got to see your boobs.
Okay.
Like, that feels weird, you know? Like, you wouldn't say things like that. But you still would be like, boobs, you know?
Yeah, boobs are cool.
Like, oh, those are some boobs.
I'll still flip a calculator upside down and type in,
boobs.
58008.
Because I feel like boobs is more like childish, whereas bulge is appealing.
Yeah.
Yeah, bulge is not like little kiddish.
Yeah.
You don't go bulge, but you do go boobs, you know.
Is that what you do?
It's not what I do, but
no, that's what you do. You just said that's what
that's what the people do, man. Yeah.
So we're back.
Yeah, we are back.
We're back. You said we had sloppy joes, like we said, and they were really
delicious.
Good. My grandparents could
shout out to grandma.
And I love them.
Also we had birthday brownies.
We did it. We had birthday brownies.
Also delicious.
Hey, so check it out. You said
let's jump back in. I have a lot of comments about what we were talking about before. What
were we talking about before? Because
we're talking about free love and sex not being defined by relationship. Do you warm your milk?
I I've done it like once.
Same thing. Same thing. Warm the milk.
Sometimes you warm the milk.
Yep.
People warm milk.
Yeah, no. Only with desserts. Like, I would never just warm milk if I was
I
just...
haven't thought about that in a long time. I mean, I guess hot cocoa people do it, so it's just like vanilla. It's like the same
Wait, what
thing.
is the best milk?
1%.
1%?
Fat free.
Oh, man.
I'm weird.
2% is really good, but 1% is the perfect.
I disagree. I'm a 2% boy.
2%.
Yeah,
I feel like that's
I like
thick.
2%.
I get it.
No, fat free is gross.
Nah, fat free is great. I like how thin it is.
Ugh, that doesn't even sound right. You want your milk thin?
I'm a real big fan. Yeah, man. So what did you want to talk about?
Yeah. So back to my. What was I saying?
Back to this milk talk.
Approaching. Yeah, sex without a bias and just being like, okay. Any two people with honest communication and attraction and without judgment can have great sexual relations. You know what I'm saying? Any two consenting adults. Sorry, let me say that. Any two consenting adults.
I think so as well.
Like, regardless of any other factors you want to add, can have great sex and can have comfortable conversations and everything about sex. It's just like we just got to get rid of like the taboo and the bias and like all the extra bullshit.
And I think it's not only the taboo and the bias, but it's because I feel like we are almost past the taboo and the bias.
Yeah, because everybody talks about sex now.
People not realizing that their partner also wants to get over the taboo and the bias. I feel like the biggest issue is honesty between people. I feel like if they were to, I don't know. Like, I feel like if there was better communication between people about sexuality.
For sure, but I think it's also partly honesty with yourself. You know what I mean? There are a lot of people where
that's true, yeah.
It'll be like, hey, I love being with you. I love being your best friend, hang out with you every day, living with you, whatever the situation may be. But I also sometimes want to fuck other people. Like, and that's not like a bad thing. It doesn't mean I don't love you or anything like that. It's just human nature, you know what I mean? And like, we have a connection as well. And me and this person are growing. We want to see where that bond's going to go. But our partner can't get over that fact, like the fact that they don't want to maybe share us or whatever, or there's possessiveness there or whatever it is, or insecurity. There's a lot of different reasons it could be. But they have to be honest with themselves about why they're not comfortable with it in order to even, you know what I mean, move past it themselves. So if they're never honest with themselves about why it bothers them, then they'll never actually confront like how to be comfortable with themselves and their sexuality and yours in combination with that.
I think that's 100% true. I think I had to do the same thing. I think there was a moment of me, I don't know why, I feel insecure, and I still do, but it's understanding that I'm not gonna be able to change anything, but insecure about who I am physically. I feel like my security has always been, and even in fighting, I remember I would tell you this in training is my first defense mechanism is always to start talking.
Yeah,
even in fighting, like I'll just start talking before a fight, just because. So, I feel like it's the same thing. Like, I feel completely confident mentally, but when it comes to physically, I'm like, nah, I'm not about it. And that's why I feel like, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, because that does make me who I am. But the person that says, yeah, I'm just someone who's more romantic, I think I'm only that way because I've always felt that way, because that's the person that life made me. But now I'm here saying like, okay, let me see what happens if I take that confidence. And whether it's true or not, let me display it. I don't know, let me honestly, let me try to find true confidence. Let me not just make fake confidence, but let me exploit it in my own way, the way that I want to.
And take advantage of that feeling.
Yeah, I feel like, yeah, man, you got me.
I was going to say, I think the key to finding that confidence is showing, or like finding the freedom, like you're looking for that sexual freedom or whatever it is, but you're saying to yourself, I've just always been a romantic at heart. All right, cool. You still are, you know what I mean? So now find your sexual freedom through being a romantic. And if, you know, trying sexual things differently with different people is something that you're interested in, do it romantically. Like, really be intimate about it and like get to know that person. Even if you just met them that night, like, why can't I still like want to dine and talk and like be honest?
That's what I'm scared of. I think I'm also like scared that I'm gonna end up feeling romantic. Like, I need to be romantically involved with people when, one, I shouldn't be with that person, or 2, they don't want me to be.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I'm nervous that I'm gonna I'm nervous that I'm gonna get too attached to situations where most people would be like, "What in the world are you doing? Don't get attached to this." Like,
And that's where the communication comes
and
in.
that's where it lies. And I think that's that's also what I'm nervous about.
Because I've had casual sex with women, but and been very intimate about it. Like, I've had conversations with women and been like, "Yo, I'm gonna kiss you like I fucking love you, but know that after this, I do not want to date you." But like, you know what I'm saying?
Words.
I said those exact words, and she was like, 100% down. Like let's go. She was like, I want that passion, but without worrying about, you know what I'm saying? I'm glad we had this conversation, and we went at like we were lovers for 10 years, bro. Like, we just went crazy. But then afterwards, it was just like, cool, let's go get some sushi as friends, casual.
Man, but
you know what I'm saying? Chilling.
Here's the thing. If that happened to me, man, like, you're there, all of a sudden, like, this could be some ugly ass guy or girl. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? Like, we gonna make love like we've been together for 10 years, all right? And then it's amazing. It's like some like midday shit, you know what I'm saying? Not some nighttime shit, some midday shit. Like, I was like, it's amazing, okay? You go get some sushi afterwards. My mind is gonna start being like, yo, this right here,
I'm in love.
this is all you need in life. And then all of a sudden, I'm fucking hooked, and it's not good. It's great because, you know, I like that kind of shit.
Everything was great.
I'm experiencing one of the best emotions you can experience, but it's fleeting, and I feel like too much of my energy is going to be chasing a fleeting moment.
Damn, I don't know.
I mean, I guess the answer is just get past that shit.
Yeah, and do it in your own way and in your own time. Like, there's no wrong way about that. It's just, you know, trial and error, really. Just try out some different things. And some of it is gonna go bad. You know what I mean? And just know that as well. Like, you're gonna try and do this and have that honest conversation with someone and put everything out there, and then maybe they won't be as honest as you're being. You know what I mean? And then something will come out, or maybe they think they're being honest and they're saying everything, and then right after it all happens, you're fine with it, and they are not. You know what I mean? And like, they're going through emotions they didn't think they were gonna feel. So, and then when you get to that point, keep going with honest communication. Like, just talk about that. You know what I mean? Like, at that point, don't be like, oh, I'm feeling things I wasn't gonna feel. Now let me shut down because everything's gone wrong. Like, nah, everything hasn't gone wrong. Cool. You're feeling things you didn't think you were gonna feel. Talk to the person about those things, and then go wherever you go from there. So it's like, whether you guys want to stop because you're feeling those emotions, or you're just going to change up the game plan a little bit, whatever it is, you guys can adjust as long as you're keeping everything honest.
I feel like I also don't trust my emotions.
Because they're always changing. That's the thing. Like,
you know? Like, I feel like I'll be like, no, this is worth it. And it's totally not. I mean, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe because of my experiences, and even what I'm saying right now, the fact that I can say I don't trust my emotions and sit here and say that type of shit, maybe that right there is a perfect example of like, nah, but you can recognize it.
Exactly. And
so in the moment, recognize like, this is, you know,
But that's also what makes you human.
For sure.
Exactly. Emotions are fleeting. They're all dynamic.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. Yeah. If we could control our emotions all the time or not feel anything, then we're just robots. Like, you know what I mean? What's the point? Like, there's nothing organic about that.
But not even, I mean, for sure. To an extent, yes, they do. But at the same time,
you might be able to trust your emotions, but you'll never understand them completely.
I was going to say the opposite. I think I will never trust my emotions because I know how changing they can be. But I can understand my emotions, and because I can understand them, I can like control my perception of them or my perception of the situation. So like, I might not trust my emotions because, you know what I mean, humans are just emotional beings, but just because I feel an emotion doesn't mean I have to let it dictate my life and my choices. So it's like, all right, so this is a good example. Like, I get a lot, people would just say to me like, yeah, but you're not a jealous person. And it's like, yes and no. I feel jealousy like anybody else. I just don't let it control my choices. So it's like, if I'm chilling with my girl and we're in the club and whatever, and some dude's talking to her at the bar or whatever. I'm over here with the homies. I'm like, I see him talking to me. I see my man trying to lay the Mac down, whatever. And then he asks her to dance or something, whatever. I might feel jealous, like, yo, but hold up, that's my chick. But at the same time, I'm like, yo, but she is bad, and I ain't mad at the fact that she's being appreciated. You know what I mean? And like, I have to make that choice in that moment to like, all right, am I gonna let my jealousy or insecurity or whatever it is, like make me like lash out and go over there and like try to fight this guy or say something to her or whatever? Or am I just gonna be like, damn, nah, my girl was really bad, she got it going on, like that's what's up, and just appreciate that and then turn back to the homies and do my thing. And I will do the second one, and that's why people say I'm not a jealous person, but I still feel jealousy.
I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
I think it's and I'm a little afraid to ask you, but I'm gonna ask you
Right.
anyway. So earlier we were talking about in the first half we were talking about how I was watching the podcast with what's his name, Johnny Sins or whatever, and so his girl gets asked, how do you feel when he's fucking all these girls? And she goes, well, depending, I think it's really hot. Now you, as the person you are, do you think that that's hot to see your girl get fucked by other guys?
I don't know, because it's never happened, so I really can't say.
That's a fine answer. I'll accept.
I want to say no, even though I'm comfortable with the idea of it. I don't know if I'd want to see it personally. You know what I mean? Like, she could tell me like, yeah, I was hanging out with this guy, whatever, we were really getting along, everything was good, like we had some bomb ass sex, whatever, and I can be like, damn, that's what's up, like you good, it was good, you enjoyed it, everything's cool. But if she was like, yeah, I'm gonna send you a video, I'd be like, pause. like no, I don't need you know what I mean? Like, I'm glad you had a
production,
good,
yo.
yeah.
Yo, you're about to get some, like, would you be happier if it was like a shot video or if it was like a cell phone video? Which one, or not happier, but which one would make you more upset? If it was like, no, we like shot it. It's like some like camera video?
Yeah.
Or like it's some like fucking like Snapchat.
Is she getting paid?
What?
She getting paid? Whether this be, they upload to Pornhub or something. If she getting paid, I'm less mad. I hate to say it like that, but if she's getting to the money, if she's getting to the bag, I'm like,
respect.
Cool, cool. I get it.
Talking about earlier, man. I respect that, man.
Yeah.
And as a filmmaker, I've always said I will absolutely shoot a porn if it's creative, if it's artistic, and if it's good money.
You like the vision, yeah.
I'm not gonna do some like crazy, like get a close up, go in, like do some crazy shit. You know, I'm about those like real artistic ones. You gotta have some cinematography. You gotta get that shit. As a filmmaker, all right, just works for me. All right, just makes me feel happier. It makes me feel more comfortable in the scene.
But you're not gonna like follow the bang bus.
I mean, I'll watch Bang Bus. I'm just not gonna be the one to make.
That's what I'm saying. You wouldn't shoot.
I'll still watch an Adam Sandler movie, but I'm not making a fucking Adam Sandler movie.
That's fair. You really wouldn't make an Adam Sandler movie right now? Adam Sandler, big budget, came to you, was like, yo.
Is this some sort of like fucking metaphor for you really wouldn't make a Bang Bus video right now?
No.
Like, all right, if they really paid me the money for Bang
completely
Bus,
take the Bang Bus out of this. Adam Sandler's manager or whoever, production company assistant calls you, pitches you an idea for a big movie.
I totally would.
Yeah.
Actually, I would do a video for Bang Bus, and let me tell you why.
Okay.
Because it's by Bang Bros, right? It's the same guys.
I believe so.
Bang Bros.
Bang Bros is legit.
You heard about them?
Yeah, Bang Bros is actually nice.
They bought. There was a porn star doxing website where their job. It was some religious website where they would dox porn stars, and Bang Bros bought the website and took it all down. They bought that shit and took it all down, and the whole porn community was like, "Thank you, sir."
That's awesome.
So
because they're making money.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so they definitely can pay you.
Yeah.
So it's all about the vision at the end of the day. Yeah.
So yeah, Bang Bros, hit me up. Fly me out, LA. I'll shoot it. I'll star. No, I won't star. I'm not that confident yet. We'll get there.
You don't want them in your porno.
Dude, I look so good naked, yo.
I don't even know what to say to this.
I'm like, yeah, yo. Shit, you don't even want to know. But I'll send you pictures anyway.
Yeah, I mean, send them in the portfolio. And
Yeah,
see
man.
what they think.
I'll put him in the. We'll share a drive. We'll share a drive.
You don't need to share your drive with
I'm
me.
gonna share my drive with you. You'll see it. I'll share it with you too.
Please don't.
I'll put it on link sharing.
Funny thing is, I feel like I shouldn't have an opinion on this, but I've actually seen you naked, so.
You see me naked?
Yeah.
Where?
Here.
When?
When we lived together.
When did you ever see me naked?
Like, a couple of times.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
No, you didn't.
I promise you I did.
I never did any of that. What are you spying on me and shit?
Nah, I think you thought I was asleep, but I was up.
I've never been.
Or you were like changing before work one time.
But I don't just change my underwear like that.
I don't know, man. Yeah, you don't change your
No,
underwear?
I mean, I change my underwear, but I don't just like put on new underwear when there's someone there. Like I usually put on new underwear before I go in the shower or something like that. Like it's usually behind a closed
Yeah, I
door.
feel what you're saying.
Before you go.
After I get out of the shower, you know what the fuck.
Maybe I haven't seen you naked. I guess I've just seen you
What do
in
you
like
mean,
your.
maybe I haven't seen you
in
naked.
your
You were
boxes.
how do you in your head be like, yeah, I've seen you naked, and then be like, oh.
I just don't see how you live in the same room with someone for 5 months and you don't see them naked. You know, you've definitely seen me naked.
I don't think I have.
I've definitely changed them like when
Yeah,
you were
that's
in the
a you
room
thing. That was
because I don't give a
definitely-
fuck.
You'd be like, check out this shit. And you just,
No, it's not like that. But I was also on
not like
sports
you're trying
teams.
to show me, but like
Yeah, we
you're
changed in
trying
the
to-
locker room. It's
I feel
whatever.
like you wouldn't try to show me your dick. You try to show me that you don't care that you get naked in front of me. I feel like you try to show that shit off. Like he'd be like, yeah, I don't care. And you just fucking ask himself.
Just fucking drop trial.
I don't care. You know, it's just the way life.
No,
is.
yeah, it is how life is.
And
No,
I'm like,
but
what are you trying to prove a point here? And he's like, no.
I ran
Totally
track. I
fucking
played
is.
soccer, so it's just like normal. That's normal locker room shit.
No, for real, for sure. And
I don't give a fuck.
I think about that all the time, man. I think about that and the idea of what we're talking about with comfort.
Maybe that's why I'm more comfortable with the sexuality, because
I was like, and I also like, I'm sure growing up in like locker room settings,
yeah,
you're just even more comfortable with like male sexuality and male.
yeah, or just like the male body and just being out there and being naked in front of people and in front of groups. Yeah,
Yeah, man.
so I don't give a shit.
How long are we at? What are we at right now, Max? What does the number say over there?
What was I about to say?
32:30 or 23:30.
23:30. We won't go for too much longer, just because we had a lot earlier.
I don't know how long we went for earlier either.
Be a good 45 minutes, maybe total, maybe hour.
Oh, nice.
That's good.
What was I gonna say? Oh yes, I don't know, man. I just have no shame. Sometimes I think that's a problem. I have shame, right? But like
You do have shame.
only in things that I can control. So like if I am like working on a big project with someone and like I drop the ball in some way, then like I'll be ashamed of my mistake or like my work ethic or something like that if I was being lazy. But like of my body, hell no. You know what I mean? Like, or like if I can't control somebody else's thought of me, even though I know I gave my best effort, then like why am I ashamed of that? Like,
I wonder where that comes from. Like I always think about, because there are two different. Like I think that's just who you are.
yeah, no,
And I think that I have a lot more shame. And I'm not saying it's like I'm ashamed of who I am. But like we were talking about earlier, sometimes I just feel ashamed of my body. Or I'll be like, I could work harder on that.
Yeah.
Or maybe even like how I might treat. I don't know. Like I just feel more shame. Whether it's warranted or not, that's still a character trait to feel that kind of shame.
yeah.
And some people may call it, I don't know, maybe even sociopath.
I used to think it was background, but we have very similar upbringings as far as like
We have very similar
religion, stuff like that. Like,
other than like race,
big-
like a different race of family,
yeah,
our upbringings were almost the exact same.
yeah. We both had 2 siblings in the house.
Yeah.
You were the oldest, I was the middle child, but still, we both went to church every Sunday. You know what I mean? Growing up, like our parents were both Christian, non-denominational, like same type of Christian. You know what I mean? Like
You know what? Honestly,
similar
like,
types of music.
honestly, that does make more sense because you being that middle child, understanding the top and the bottom, like or not the top and the bottom. I know that sounded weird, but like above and below you in
Yeah.
age group, like you do feel more like my sister, who is in that way. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
She kind of knows herself, but also
A little bit more. You kind of learn
but
from the
lives
first.
her life no matter how else anyone else tries to tell her how to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess being able to like see the older sibling go through things and then adjust and like see what things they went through and changed, but it didn't ultimately matter.
And then Mike, just like me, will do things and try to act confident, but really we don't know what we're doing.
Yeah.
Brandon and Max, both.
Yeah.
Both,
just crazy young boys.
Just crazy young boys living life, and they're just kind of like go.
Yeah.
Dang, So we're not. You're like my sister, and I'm like your older brother. No diss on Mike, by the way.
No, not at all. He's a
I love
fucking.
Mike.
He's a G.
I'm not saying like.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike, you're dumb, dude. Nah, I'm obviously messing. Yo,
He's gonna slap you with a freestyle Friday.
I want to. I'll battle Mike in everything,
Please do
and
not.
I'll take my whipping as respect.
All right, well, fair enough.
I'll battle Mike and everything. I'll battle you in a freestyle. I'll race you. All right.
You might have him in a race.
I had you in a race.
Go karts, but yeah.
Yeah, beat your ass, man.
Go karts.
Yeah, man. I told him. I said, I'm gonna beat you in a race. I'm still real upset that I lost that race to Donovan, though. I don't want to talk about it right now. Point is, man,
Yeah.
Mike, you're the best. Brandon, you're great. Megan and Max, you're fantastic. That's all our family. Family over everything.
Family over everything, indeed.
All right, we're gonna try to do this every Monday.
Yep, every Monday.
Every Monday.
No particular time because boys are too flexible for that.
Yeah, this isn't even gonna come out on Monday.
Yeah, we don't know when it's gonna come out. We're just gonna shoot it
It's
on
gonna try to
Monday.
come back tomorrow. I'm gonna try to put it out like
All right.
tomorrow.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
But no promises.
No promises.
Because we don't even fuck with y'all like that.
No, definitely not. Heck yeah, man. Do you have anything to say before we go?
No.
Any final thoughts?
Just freaking love who you love, have sex with who you want to have sex with, realize that they can be the same thing or they cannot be, and neither way is wrong. That's all I got to say about that.
Heck yeah, man. And I'll keep you updated on my sexual journey.
Oh yeah.
All right. I'm gonna come back here. I'm gonna be like, yo, guess what? I had a 5-some
Hey.
with a bunch of like
young midget orgy.
midget men. And they're like, wow, you really explored your sexuality. I'm like, yeah, I really did.
Damn.
And guess what?
I hated it.
Absolutely hated it. I absolutely hated it.
But who knows? Maybe
I'm not
you'll
allowed
love
to
it.
say midget, am I? I'm sorry, dwarf.
I think it's officially dwarfism is
I'm
the
really
name
sorry
of
about
the
that.
condition.
I'm really sorry
Yeah.
about that. You know, I wanna, gotta
For sure, you gotta keep it PC.
keep it peaceful.
Not even. I hate to say PC. You gotta keep it respectful.
If
man.
I'm gonna make a joke,
it's gonna be funny.
I'm gonna say whatever I want. But that wasn't a joke.
You just kind of said it.
I just referred to him as that.
For sure. I don't think there's anything necessarily derogatory, but just we'll put the respect on that
Put the
name. You know what I mean?
respect on it. You know, if there is a dwarf or a little person or however you wish to refer to,
Let us know let us know what's respectful.
what's respectful and what's disrespectful.
Yeah.
Probably everything
Facts.
except for the one thing that.
But like, so do you prefer the technical term dwarfism or little people? Because I've heard little people is what the preference is, but it's officially called dwarfism, like the condition. So let me know, like scientific or PC, what's better? Or if scientific is PC because it's scientific.
That's what this whole podcast was really about, dwarfism. So let us know.
We just roped you in with 40 to an hour minutes of content just to ask you that question in a comfortable setting.
Peace, my little people.